Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mana, and I'm hyped because Star Wars: The Old Republic just announced the release date of their expansion, Legacy of the Sith, which will be the 14th of December. And today I'm on the PTS, and we're gonna go ahead and look over what changes they did with the Juggernaut Vengeance, because that is my main spec, my main thing, playing a Vengeance Juggernaut. So we're gonna go see if they butchered my favorite class or they actually made it better. So let's go ahead and cue that intro and see what happens. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and look over our skills. We're gonna have, I think it's one new one, and here goes the combat styles, which I'm gonna get more into doing an overview of the PTS and showing you guys more screenies of this in a different video. I'm gonna go over Vengeance Juggernaut, Deception Assassin, Assault Specialist, Commando, and those are the three main classes. Oh, and maybe my Healing Operative, I don't know yet. Those are the main classes I want to really play in this expansion, so I want to go over it, and then we'll do an overview of the PTS as well. So I believe the newest skill we got here is Blood Rage. It explodes your bleeds on all targets within 10 meters of you, dealing a significant amount of damage and generating 6 rage. So imagine you just have all your bleeds on one target, then obviously you use your Vengeful Slam, it spreads all your dots around, and then you use Blood Rage, which explodes all of those bleeds on the target for massive amounts of damage. That is crazy, and I love that. So ability trees, which is something that I want to go into because it has changed so much, and you can make tons of different builds. Single target build, AoE build, it goes insane here, guys. So basically these right here are all passive, so you're going to get these all the way to level 78. So all of our passives right here, and we're just going to go through the tree. So obviously you're going to be getting Blood Rage as a main skill, and Shatter as a main skill as well. And we're going to go through this and think of what we want to do for builds. Alright, so we got Branding Burst here, which is killing a target with direct burn damage while affected by Plasma Brand causes it to explode, hitting nearby enemies. So this is more, AoE focused as well. We also have freaking Major Fracture, increases the initial damage of Shatter and reduces its cooldown by 2 seconds. So Shatter's going to be doing more damage and reduces the cooldown by 2 seconds, which is really cool. We also have Deep Cuts. While Shatter is on a target, the crit chance of all your bleed attacks on that target is increased by 10%. Now, all of these right now, if I want to go for more of a single target build, well, this actually can help out a lot when you're doing AoE. Also, I would go for Deep Cuts for a passive for me, and that's just me right there. So I would go for Deep Cuts. Let's move on to the level 35s right now. You have Projected Scream. Force Scream does damage to additional enemies in a cone in front and slows them by 50%. For 6 seconds. That's nice, right? Because Force Scream also is a dot, so that's pretty dope. Or if they changed, I don't know if they changed my Force Scream as a dot. I hope they did it. I love that stuff. Okay, then we have Overwhelming Slashes. Ravage immobilizes the target for 3. That's more of a PvP kind of thing. You can already see it when you're mobilizing the target, or you could use it for Master Mode dungeons to immobilize those high targets. And you have Sweeping Slash here, which slashes up to 8 enemies. So I would say either of these two if you're going PvE focus, which is Sweeping Slash or Projected Screen, or if you just need someone to do a little bit more CC for certain monsters in Master Mode dungeons or Master Mode uprisings and stuff like that. So level 39, we get Impale. Yeah, we love Impale. So you can either get Skewering Strike. I can't even pronounce that, man. I'm so horrible at it. But leaps to the target, impaling it targets for 22k damage to 24k damage and immobilizing them for 3 seconds. So this is big damage out there. Immobilizes the target as well. So it's the same thing almost as freaking that overwhelming slashes I think we're talking about. The next one is Bleeding Offense. Impale does about 1k to 1.1k additional critical bleed damage when direct hits and Impale critical hits chance are increased by 20%. This one's a good one as well. And then we got Bleeding Pummel. Impale deals 10% damage and generates 1 rage for each of your periodic bleeds on the targeted hits. So this one's a pretty tough one. I like all of them from this section here, but I don't know which one I would go with here. I do like a Bleeding Offense as well as also Bleeding Pummel too. So Impale does 10% more damage, Yeah, I don't know which one I go here, but I'm gonna stick with that for this one here, I guess. It increases the critical hit chance, and it does additional bleed damage when it hits more bleeds. It's like bleeds on bleeds on bleeds. That's what we do here. So let's go ahead and move up here, which it's a big one here. Y'all know about Furious Power. Consumes all energy, charges Furious Power, and applies Furious Power stacks to you. Each stack increases the next direct single target melee attack by 25%, so increases the damage by 25%, and it's consumed. So you get one ability charge every 30 seconds. So you can either get Furious Power, which was part of our rotation back in the last expansion, or you could go with one of these two. Blood. I think it says Bloodbound. Critically hitting with a bleed effect reduces the cooldown of your blood rage by 1 second. So if you think about the builds that are going here, that we're talking about the other skills, there's a lot of critical stuff happening. So we're going to do a lot of critical hits. There's a lot of skills here that give you critical hits on bleeds, more critical hits on bleeds, and this skill right here basically reduces the cooldown of your blood rage if your bleeds are critically hitting. That'd be pretty nice, man. But let's go check out this one. It says, I think it's Blood Rules. Can't read the name of that one, but Blood Rage no longer generates rage. All right. Instead, activating Blood Rage grants blood rights. Increases the critical hit chance of all your internal bleed effects by 10%, and generating 1 rage each time you critically hit with an internal bleed. It's no brainer here. I love the blood rights one. Furious Power. It's still good. I think all of these are really good for PvE situations as well. All of these are really good, but I might just go with blood rights. I love the sound of blood rights. So every time you use it, you're gonna get 10% of you're gonna get more, you know, in critical hit chances, which is gonna help out your other skills. So basically, the build that I'm building up right here for this character needs to be based more on critical hit. So all the criticals I get on bleeds, it's gonna help me a lot when I'm doing my single target rotation or AoE rotation as well. Now we're heading to Hue. Everyone knows about Hues. You hurl the main hand lightsaber at a target, dealing 22k damage to 23k damage, and slows their movement speed. Yada yada. We know about that, man. Okay, so here goes some Force Scream stuff. So we got it. I think it's called Extending Roar. Increases the range of Force Scream to 30 meters before Scream deals reduced damage beyond 10 meters. Additional Force Push deals 20% more damage and grants Extending Roar, allowing your next Force Scream to deal full damage regardless of the distance from the target. So I think with this one, you'll be obviously incorporating your Force Push into that rotation, so you get that buff and do your regular amount of damage with Force Scream. So that's a pretty cool one as well. We also got Warmonger. Getting attack reduces the active cooldown of Force Charge by 1 second. This effect cannot occur more than 1.5 seconds. Again, this is a really good one for PvP, because in PvP you're always going to be getting attacked. All right, so that's a good one for PvP right there. And Unyielding, you generate 4 rage when stunned, immobilized, put to sleep, or knocked around. I like the range on this one too, and you can incorporate your Force Push as well. Does that? And Force Push also does 20% more damage. It's really nice. These are more for defenses, so if you're not really looking for an increase, kind of like messier rotation around and adding Force Push to it, then you could go with Extending Roar. Or if you want something more for defenses, I would recommend either going with Unyielding or Warmonger. I'm loving how they're doing this. The next one, obviously, Vengeful Slam. Slams your weapon on the ground, causing a force empowered shockwave that deals 16k to 17k damage. Every damage up to 8 enemies in 5 meters, stuns weak and standard enemies for 3 seconds. We're gonna go over the passives once we're done with this, guys. Don't worry about it. And here we go, the level 68. So we got 2 more tiers left. This is War Master. Force Charge grants unstoppable, granting immunity to movement impairing effects and effects that push you or pull you around for 4 seconds. In addition, Force Charge enables your next vicious throw or hue to be used against a target with any percentage of health. We already know that hue is a really big boy damage right there, so that's a nice one here. Hardened Defense. All area effect damage is reduced by it says 60 or 80%. You correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, for 15 seconds after Threatening Scream is active. So Threatening Scream, I believe for a tank, is an AoE taunt, and for DPS, it's your threat drop. So I'm guessing if you use it, whichever one you use it for, you're gonna get 15 your damage reduced buff for 15 seconds after using that, which is pretty cool, which DPS should be using their threat drop periodically within the rotation. It helps out the tanks a lot. And we got Payback, reduces the cooldown of Unleash by 30 seconds and it causes Unleash to heal you for 10% of your maximum health when used. So it depends on what you want to do here. If you want more of an offensive one, you go with War Master, or if you want more of a defensive thing, you know, you're good, you go with either Hardened Defense or Payback. So offensive, and you got these two things for defenses here basically. I really do love Hardened Defense. It's really dope. I would either go with War Master or Hardened Defense. Now we're going up to the level 73 tier, Saber Reflect. Yes, Saber Reflect is on here, so if you want it your nice Saber Reflect, you have to go ahead and choose it here. We all know what Saber Reflect does. It reflects damage. Intimidating Roar, which paralyzes up to 8 nearby enemies in fear, preventing all of them. Didn't really care about that. And we got the Mad Dash, which I'm so mad. So mad that Mad Dash is up here. I love Mad Dash because it really helped me get out of, you know, situational stuff while I'm doing flashpoints or PvP or just operatives. It helped a lot, man. So it really does suck. Oh, whoa. So increase your defense by 100% too while dashing. So that's really nice. I did not catch that. But I'm definitely gonna go with Saber Reflect here. It helps. It's really good. But if you feel like you don't need a defense and you want to get that, you know, that movement, that 100% you know, defense increase while you're dashing, go ahead and go with Mad Dash. I would not go with Intimidating Roar unless if you're doing master mode dungeons and you need, well, flashpoints, you need someone to CC. No. And here we go, 78 tier, the last tier. We got Pooled Hatred. Whenever your movement is impaired, you gain a 10% damage bonus to your next ability that consumes rage. This effect can stack up to 5 times and last 15 seconds. This is a really good PvP talent, and there's so many times when, you know, the casters or the squishy peeps are going to slow you down because they're trying to get away from you. Little do they know, when you're slowing them down, when they're slowing you down, you're getting freaking damage boosts for the next skill you're going. That can stack up to 5 times. Really crazy. All right, so now we have Crushing Fist. So for the Immortal Discipline, Smash slows the targets it damages by 60% for 10 seconds. For the Vengeance and Rage disciplines, Smash and Vengeful Slam sunder the targets they damage for 45 seconds. Sundered targets have their armor rating decreased by 20%, which is really good. I like that one. And then we also have Through Passion, reduces the cooldown of Enraged Defense by 30 seconds. Obviously, I think for this one, I would either go with Crushing Fist or I'll go with Through Passion, and that's just for me because I'm playing Vengeance. So that's basically the ability tree, guys, and it's changed quite a lot, and it's pretty freaking cool to see what kind of different abilities are popping up here and what different things are going to be doing. I'll be showing some gameplay when I'm doing the PTS Elam flashpoint with probably my Vengeance Juggernaut or my Commando. I don't know yet, but let's go through these passives because we did not see these passives right now. All right, so let me move this to the side here real quick, just like that. Sorry about that, guys. So we have, oh, that's the Xian form, which basically it's the normal thing that we always have. So it increases all our damage dealt by 6%, and melee damage by additional 5%, damage reduction by 5% too, and movement speed is increased by 15%. So that is cool. And we have Quivering. Scream Shatter finishes the active cooldown on Ravage and generates 3 rage. Force Scream causes the targets to bleed, yes. So that's why I was telling you, like, Force Scream is our bleed. And if you go with that, with this projected scream, you could just do an AoE. You basically have another AoE, and this class is going to be so great for AoEs. There's just so much great AoE potential right now for Vengeance Juggernauts. It's just insane. Then we have Bloodbath right now, which Smash and Vengeful Slam spreads your bleed effects to all targets they damage. If at least one target is already afflicted by your bleeds. In addition, Sweeping Slash does 25% more damage to bleeding targets. That I didn't know. So we could either go Sweeping Slash, so it'll add more AoE stuff, or we could just keep our Force Scream. But Force Scream, remember this, Force Scream is a bleed, so we use our Vengeful Slam to spread our Force Scream, right? And we all have these bleeds on the target, and then we could just use Sweeping Slash. It does 25% more damage, so it's just more AoE with everybody, you know, stacking all their AoEs and then all the ticks and everything, and then along with Sweeping Slash, just direct damage. That sounds nice. And we have Eviscerate. Impale causes the target to bleed for 8k damage, internal damage over 6 seconds, and beats the target down for 45 seconds. Beat down targets take 5% more damage from melee attacks. That's nice. Then we have Brawn. Force Charge grants Brawn, providing immunity to interrupt stuns, knockdowns, and incapacitating effects for 4 seconds. Additionally, during this time, damage reduction is increased by 20%. All right, let's look at this. Savagery. Shatter, Impale, Hew, and Vengeful Slam increase the critical chance of your next forward scream by 50%. Lasts 15 seconds, stacks up to 2 times. We all know about this. This is in our former rotation, and I love that stuff. All right, Destroyer. Increases the damage dealt by your bleeding effects by 15%. In addition, your Ravage and Bleed damage has a 30% chance to trigger Destroyer, which finishes a cooldown on Hew, and makes your next Hew consume no rage and usable on the target at any health level. This effect can occur more than once every 20 seconds, so that's something really good as well. We have Gushing Veins, increases the critical chance of Shatter, Vengeful Slam, and bleeding effects by 10%. Like I said, this build is built on critical damage, guys. Get your crit up, and you're just gonna be doing massive crit damage, man. Like this, I'm gonna make a good build for crit damage here, and I can't wait to go ahead and showcase it to you guys. And the last one is Bloodmaster. For each of all your bleeding effects active on an enemy target, you deal 5% more bleed damage, up to a maximum of 15% more bleed damage, while Shatter, Draining Scream, and Eviscerate are each bleeding on the target. Wow. Okay, so I came in here thinking that they absolutely butchered my boy, but they did not butcher him at all. At least my Vengeance spec was not butchered. I felt like it was made better. I'm really looking forward to testing this out. I might do like a showcase on a Flashpoint with him, showcasing the damage, stuff like that. I just wanted to go do an overview of the ability tree and talk to you guys about builds that you can do, but there's so many different types of builds you'll be able to do in this game, guys. You're gonna have obviously your PvP builds, your PvE either single target or focus on AoE builds. I went in here thinking that these ability trees were gonna be bad, and I actually like them. I like the choices I get. I like the different types of build I can do. So yeah, Redragon Legacy of the Sith. I am ready for it, guys. If you guys want to see more videos like this where I go over the ability trees, what they do, and what type of builds we can make, just like the video and just, let me know if you guys enjoy it. I might be doing the Commando next with the Assault Specialist. That's one of my next classes that I just love playing, and that's what I'm going to be maining for PubSide. So as always, guys, like the video, sub to the channel, let me know down below what class I'm going to do next. My Operative Healer, my Commando, or my Assassin. All right, guys, take it easy, and as always, have a great day.